And the big headline from Week 5, the injury to Dak Prescott. He suffered a compound fracture and dislocated his right ankle in the third quarter of the Cowboys' win over the Giants yesterday. And he knew right away that it was bad. Carted off the field in tears with his teammates looking on in disbelief. The recovery timetable expected to be 4 to 6 months. Dak Prescott is done for the season. And with that, we are joined by Michael Vick. Mike, what was your reaction to how devastating this was for Dak Prescott yesterday?
Yeah, it hurt me tremendously to see Dak being carted off. It reminded me of 2003 preseason game when I dislocated my ankle. And you know, it was just a time where, you know, you put all your time and effort, you know, and everything that you have, heart and soul, into every single game, and then it's all taken away from you. And for Dak, it happened 4 games in. For me, it happened in preseason. But the feeling was, you know, just, you know, not being able to be out there with your teammates. Everything you work hard for kind of goes out the window. And as much money as you have, you know, the contract talks and the things that's, you know, been presented to you all goes out the window. It doesn't even matter no more. It's all about being out there with your teammates. It's all about being out there competing and giving it your best. And I think that's what Dak was feeling. I know that's what he was feeling. And it hurt me to see him in that position after he's worked so hard and put so much time and effort into being the best quarterback that he can be for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, I got used to watching Dak on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays. And, you know, it's just going to be it's going to be tough not to see him out there. But I think the future is still bright for him in Dallas, and you know, we'll see what happens. But you know, Dak just got to keep his head up, keep fighting, and know this is not the end of the road for him.
Mike, we saw the play, and Dak, right after it happened, I'm sure his body's in shock, but he's remarkably composed. He grabs his leg, tries to stabilize it, calls the trainers over. And then it's when he's on the cart that you could see the emotions had overtaken him. What is he, in your experience, what were you thinking? What was going through your head after the stun of the injury to your body is, you know, gone or dissipating, but you're being carted off the field? What's going through Dak's head in that moment?
Well, right then and there, you know it's over. You know, the competitive part of the game that you love so dearly. And I think as athletes, more than anything, you know, it's the fear of the unknown. You know, when you step into an NFL stadium and you're about to compete, you don't know what's about to happen. You just know you got to go in, react, and trust your instincts. And, you know, it's no more that. You know, that's what we live for. Brandon can tell you. You know, it's the fear of the unknown, but going out and trying to achieve greatness. And you know you can't do it yourself. You know you need all your teammates to do it. And, you know, you practice together, you eat together, you hang out together, you spend a lot of quality time. And then that's not there anymore. And that's the emotional part that Dak was feeling yesterday. It wasn't about, you know, the contract. It wasn't about the future. It was about being in that moment and sustaining that moment. It was about being with his teammates and, you know, even his head coaches and trying to prove to, you know, this organization that, you know, we are the best. And, you know, it's just not there for him anymore. So, you know, unfortunately for Dak, you know, the season ended abruptly, but, you know, he'll come back stronger. He'll come back better. He'll learn from this, and, you know, things will continue to move forward for the Dallas Cowboys, hopefully.
Yeah, Mike, I think about, you know, this moment. I think we all have it. Injuries in the NFL is inevitable. You know, that's why this is so devastating, because of the two things that goes through your mind when you're laying on that turf and you know it's over. The individual goals and the team goals. When you look at the individual goals, you think about these guys working in the middle of a global pandemic. In sports, you don't get a day off. When you're sick, you have the flu, anything's going on, they tell you still come in. You don't get a minute to lay in bed. You're sick, come to the facility. So when you think about the hard work and the dedication and the pain, the sacrifice that goes in to preparing for an NFL season, an NBA season, it's a lot. Just remember those days, Mike, when you're sitting around the table and everybody's eating, you know, ribs and barbecue, macaroni and cheese, bread, and you're sitting here eating baked chicken and broccoli. The sacrifice you make year after year after year. So when you're sitting there, you think about that like, man, this is all over. And those individual goals of becoming the best quarterback, getting that big contract, that's no longer there. And then the team, you're sitting here as Dak Prescott, and you're like, look at the division. The division's up for grabs. We're playing horrible, but we still have a chance to reach our goals, to win a division, to go to a Super Bowl. And now that's taken away. So I think there's a mix of emotions that go through your head when you're laying on that turf. This is why I always say, if you're a player, especially in the NFL, there's no reason you should be playing in that last year of your contract, because you own all the risk. Any moment you step on that field, it could be the last game. Look at Alex Smith, the return of Alex Smith yesterday. But think about where he was 2 years ago. You know this as a player, so that's why you got to do everything in your power, Wilds, to get a deal done, even if it means you taking less.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, we knew that he bet on himself. And, Brandon, I appreciate hearing your firsthand experience of what it's like to be on the field during an injury. I also didn't realize that you hated broccoli so much. So it's brutal there for a broccoli. Bad day for that. Hey,
when you eat it every day, it's a problem.
I hear you,
coming
Brandon.
Up,
Loud and clear.
They've got Cardinals, they've got Washington, they've got Philadelphia. Andy Dalton was 9 for 11 at 111 yards. They won the game. Mike, I know if you're looking forward for the Dallas Cowboys, this schedule seems, you know, winnable. How do the Cowboys team turn the page and start to say, like, all right, guys, like, now we have to sort of take it day by day here without our leader?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys still have to realize they still have a goal to accomplish, and that's to win the NFC East. And it's the reason why you pay a backup quarterback the type of money you pay Andy Dalton. Right. It's the reason why you brought a guy like Andy Dalton in to fill in and step in and be able to fill the void right now. And I think the guys will rally around Andy. He has a lot of experience, a ton of snaps under his belt, and he knows the game in and out. So, you know, I can't say he's a dual threat. He's not Dak Prescott. He's Andy Dalton, and I think his resume has been fulfilled. I truly believe in what he could do. I think the team still has an opportunity and a great shot at winning the NFC East. So the guys will rally around him. And this is going to be really cool to watch moving forward. I think everybody will learn from this experience and you know, do the best they can and continue to fight, not just for themselves, but fight for Dak as well, a guy who put, you know, his heart and soul into every snap and every down this season. So they still got a lot to play for, and the NFC East is still up for grabs.
And I know it can seem callous to the fans that we're already talking about what's next for the Cowboys, but as Brandon described earlier, that's what the guys in the locker room are thinking. Like, I remember last year watching, I think it was Thursday Night Football, when I thought Patrick Mahomes got his knee blown out, and I'm on my couch catatonic, and the Chiefs are celebrating a touchdown that's scored by the defense 5 minutes later. Like, the players have an unbelievable ability to turn the page and stay in the moment. And in the moment for the Cowboys, Brandon, is this. They are the massive favorites in the NFC East, even without Dak. Philly's still a mess. There's a reason they paid Zeke. There's a reason they paid Amari. And so you've got to feel like if you're the Cowboys, are the Super Bowl hopes dashed? Absolutely. Are their playoffs hopes dashed? I say absolutely not, Brandon.
Yeah, it's not far off that to have this discussion that Andy Dalton is the best quarterback in his division. Think about that. Like, Andy Dalton steps in, and he could, right? But like, also, he could.
That's a good take.
We could be talking about him being the 100%. Yeah. So I think that, you know, when we talk about moving on and guys getting injured, Mike, you know this. Dak's going to be in the training room right now, and guys going to come in, pat him on the shoulder, and say, "Man, we're going to play for you. We miss you." Then they're going to go off into the locker room. They're going to turn on the music, and they're going to get in their zone to go take down the next opponent or try to take down the next opponent. It's just how we're trained. You know that you have to have this next man up mentality in the National Football League, because any minute it could be your day. You know, you stand on the sideline, you have your helmet in your hand because you're waiting. Every single play, you're like, okay, is he getting up? Did this guy get up? After the game, everybody walks around the locker room asking, are you okay? Did you come out okay? Because it's inevitable.
And the Cowboys are blessed to have a guy that they paid in Ezekiel Elliott who could be the leader on this team, who could run the offense through him, which is what the game plan sort of was originally before you knew exactly what you were going to have in Dak Prescott. We'll have much more on what this means for Dak, what the ceiling is for Andy Dalton, and where the Cowboys go from here. But the Los Angeles Lakers are champions once again. What a night. Lakers high on life and drunk on champagne. Take a listen to Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, this is everything. It's still sitting in. Like, I'm half drunk right now from all the champagne, so I don't know how to act exactly.